Good evening and welcome to our regular council meeting for July the 3rd. And as it's the first meeting of the month, I will turn it over to the Deputy Mayor. Renee.
Thank you, Mayor Peugeot. I'd like to begin the meeting by acknowledging that we are in the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe peoples in the Robinson-Huron Treaty area and wish to recognize the neighboring community of Doki's First Nation. While we meet today, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the importance of the lands which we call home. We do this to reaffirm our commitment and responsibility in improving relationships between nations and to improving our own understanding of local Indigenous peoples and their cultures. From coast to coast, we acknowledge the ancestral and unceded territory of all the Inuit, Métis, and First Nations people that call this land home. And with that, I need a mover and a seconder for the adoption of the agenda. Councillor Roger and Councillor Willie.
So there are two items to be added to the agenda. So I will read the motion. So be it resolved that the agenda be adopted as amended to add the following items. 6.3.4, resolution to pass a bylaw to enter into a contract with MTO for the new drive-on program. So it was formerly a licensing process. 6.5.1, resolution to award purchase of a special service truck for the bylaw services.
All those in favor? Okay. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Councillor Roger.
Yes, item 7.1 on the agenda. I placed a request for financial help with the car show coming up on July 20th.
Okay, thank you. Noted. So we have no delegation. So we'll continue on to reports and items for consideration. So 6.1, general government. 6.1.1, the report on recent speed study requests. And I believe that Mark will speak on this subject.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, I can speak to both those items because the municipality did initiate with the Ministry of Transportation speed studies along the Yalbin route, entering the community of Alban, and also asked for a review of the traffic and speeds within the community of Noelville on 535 and 64. You'll see before you within your report a summary of how the results of the study, how they identify reviewing speed limits, and what establishes their findings in terms of speeds, which prevailing vehicle speeds, physical features, collision experience, which there's been 7 collisions in the Alban area within a 5-year period, the traffic characteristics, and the driver behavior. In summary, as you can see from the results, they came back and saying that the current speed limits that we find in the community of Alban at 60 kilometers an hour and leaving the community of Alban at 70 kilometers an hour are of the correct nature and correct speeds at this point in time. Similar findings were found for the study that was conducted in March of this year for Council's request in extending the 50-kilometer limit zones and 60-kilometer limit zones outside of the Noelville area. They found that the characteristics and speed limits are current and up to date to what their findings are, but they did make a special note that they'll continue monitoring the development of our seniors housing project, if that has an impact going forward, and also the development at the Joe Chartrand that we continue working on. So those are the results. I just thought it was appropriate to give an update to council. I apologize for the Alban one. It just got lost. So we brought both of them at the same time.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Does anybody have any questions, comments? No, we're good to go. So 6.1.2, we have a quarterly report. So from the clerk's department. So Melanie will give us a report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For this quarter, there's no specific highlights to report other than if council has any questions.
Anybody have any questions for Melanie? Seeing none. So we'll continue on to 6.2 finances, 6.2.1. We have a resolution to adopt a bylaw to execute an agreement with AMO for the transfer of the Canada Community Building Fund, formerly named the Gas Tax Fund. So I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Dave and Counselor Bob, and I believe our treasurer Mark will speak to this.
This is formerly the gas tax, and it's a new 10-year agreement for 2024 to 2033. The allocations for the next 5 years are approximately, they're starting at $177,825 for 2024, and it's in line with the budget. And it's a funding per capita across Ontario.
Anybody have any questions? Mayor Peugeot?
So does the funding increase or is it just per capita? There's no like inflationary increase to it?
There's a small increase of about $8,000 for 2025, 2026.
Okay.
So 185,000 and change. And 2027, 2028, there's another increase of about $7,000.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, so Mel, do you have a resolution?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Moved and seconded, being at that bylaw 2024-32, being a bylaw to execute an agreement with the Association of Municipalities of Ontario for the transfer of the Canada Community Building Fund, be read first, second, and third time and finally passed.
All those in favor? Okay. 6.2.2, we have the renewal of the term deposit, and I believe Mark will speak to this again.
Back in 2019, we our excess funds of about $3 million were invested in for 5 years with a GIC for 3% per annum. The 5-year term expired in June 27th, and we were able to. There was a special with the Caisse Populaire Alliance for 11 months at 5% per annum. So we, as per investment policy, we reinvested the proceeds for 11 months. And that way we're going to increase, or we're going to have an interest of 159,400 for 11 months. And also the short term will give us more flexibility for next year's budget. So it's going to expire in May, which is in line. So we'll know what the capital needs are for the and the operational needs are for the municipality.
Any questions? Counselor Dave?
Through you, Madam Chair. And this 5%, that's a fixed rate for the 11 months.
Yeah, it's fixed rate for 11 months. Yes.
Thank you.
We have. There's no resolution for that. 6.2.3, we have a resolution to pass a bylaw to adopt a strategic asset management plan. I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Dave and Counselor Willie. And Martin, who's speaking to this? Oh, Mark. Marcus.
So it's a review of our asset management policy that was put in place in 2019. Where it's per to be in accordance with the law or the act, we have to review every 5 years. So just to we took a part of a program with MFOA for Amp It Up. It's a program that's financed by the ministry, so no cost to the municipality. And we're in touch. We have a certain amount of hours that's provided with the consultant to review our asset management and get more training on it. And we're aligned with the KPMG for this Amp It Up. And KPMG was kind enough to review our asset management policy. That was on top of the Amp It Up program. So it was free of charge for the municipality. So we took advantage of that. And also, we had the Aqua, Ontario Clean Water Agency to review our wastewater asset management policy. So we're happy to have their input on this. And also, we took advantage also to revamp the policy to because we have a new asset management software that's been live since a couple of weeks ago. So there was changes to the policy because of that. So if you have any questions, I'm open for to answer.
Thank you, Mark. Does anybody have any questions? Seeing none, we'll continue on.
We have a motion.
We have a motion.
Yes. So it's duly moved and seconded that bylaw 2024-31 being a bylaw to adopt the strategic asset management policy dated July 3rd, 2024, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
All those in favor? Thank you. 6.3, Public Works and Environmental Services. 6.3.1, we have a resolution to supply and deliver of a vehicle equipment service lift. I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Dave and Counselor Bob. And I believe Jason or Michelle.
So the tender was for the award of a supply and delivery of one vehicle equipment service lift. As per procurement policy, we posted the tender on June 18th, closed on June 27th. We received one bid. The amount was for $73,553. The 2024 capital budget for the purchase was approved for $60,000. The recommendation is that it be awarded to Beeline Tire and Auto Supply.
Does anybody have any questions or no, seeing none? You want to read the resolution?
So moved and seconded, be resolved that council awards the contract for the purchase of a vehicle equipment service lift to Beeline Tire and Auto Supply Limited for the amount of $73,553 plus applicable taxes.
All those in favor? Okay, we are good. 6.3. It is 6.3.2, a report of an expenditure overage of an awarded contract at Misha Falls Bridge, and I believe Martin will speak to this.
Good evening, everyone. So Misha Falls Bridge number 2 was scheduled to be to have the wear plates and railings redone last October, and due to weather constraints, it was moved to this past June. I received a phone call 2 weeks ago, Friday, regarding the state of the bridge under the wear plates. So the wear plates are the parts of the bridge where the vehicles drive on them, and after they get worn down, you can replace them. So that was the intention of the original scope of work, but after the contractor removed those wear bridges, the underneath was basically rotten. There was a huge hole in the bridge. So I made the call to have that replaced. The bridge was closed for approximately 3 days to have that job done at a cost of $34,500 plus applicable taxes to get that job done in a time and safely manner.
Anybody have any questions for Martin? Seeing none. 6.3.3, a resolution to award the contract for the rehabilitation installation of Shaw Road culvert. I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Willie and Counselor Dean. And are you speaking to this, Martin, again?
We would like to award the contract for the rehabilitation of the Shaw Road culvert to French River Contracting for a cost of $95,898.70, which came in approximately $55,000 under budgeted amount.
Anybody have any questions? Go ahead, Dave.
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. Not that it has much relevance because it's not the cheapest, but I'm just curious why there's the same company twice with 2 different prices.
This job was, it was issued as a proposal for two different manners of replacing the culvert. So one was a total replacement of culvert and guardrails, where the other one was to line the culvert instead with a structural lining. So we gave the option. There's a few companies that reached out regarding the two different options. So we decided to put it out as a proposal instead to see what the cost difference would be. So the one company did put a bid for both options. And French River Contracting came in at the cheapest with a full replacement. I really thought that the lining would have been cheaper for this case because the culvert is a deep culvert. But the numbers came in a little bit better than, okay,
Quarry is close to there.
yeah.
Perfect, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, so I believe Melanie will read the resolution.
Yes, thank you. So moved and seconded, be it resolved that council awards the contract for the installation of the Shaw Road culvert to French River Contracting for the amount of $95,898.70 plus applicable taxes.
All those in favor? Okay, thank you. 6.3.4, a resolution to pass a bylaw to enter into a contract with NTO for new drive ON program. I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Roger and Counselor Willie. Michelle, you want to speak to this?
Sure, thank you. The report highlights the requirements for the municipality to continue to offer annual inspections and do that in-house at our municipal garage. If anybody has any questions regarding the actual contract, I'd be happy to answer those.
Anybody have any questions for Michelle? Seeing none, you want to read the resolution?
Moved and seconded that bylaw 2024-34, being a bylaw to execute the drive-on program performance contract with the Ministry of Transportation for the operation of a private fleet vehicle inspection center, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
All those in favor? Okay, thank you. 6.4, recreation and community services, nil. 6.5, emergency and protection services, 6.5.1. We have a resolution to award the purchase of a special service truck, bylaw services. I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Dave and Counselor Bob. And Michelle, you want to speak to this?
Sorry about that. Municipality of French River shared service agreement with the Sudbury East Building and Bylaw Services was expanded upon in 2024. To support SEB's operations, we had released a request for proposal for the purchase of one new truck with special services packages. It was posted on June 17th and it closed on June 27th. The municipality did not receive any bid submissions during that time. The municipality did receive two bid submissions after the closing date. One was July 2nd and the other was on July 3rd. Under the procurement policy, the municipality is allowed to conduct single source purchases for goods or services. That being said, the 2024 approved SEBS budget was inclusive for the purchase of one special services vehicle. We are recommending to council that we award the proposal to Finch Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC Ltd.
All those in favor? Where is that dealership? Do we know, Michelle?
Toronto.
Toronto. Okay. Now we're gonna read the proposal.
Yes. So duly moved and seconded, be resolved that council awards the purchase of one new 2025 four-wheel drive crew cab truck with special service packages to Finch Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC Limited for the amount of $61,353 plus applicable taxes.
All those in favor? Okay, we are good. 6.6, building planning and development is nil. 7, we have correspondence. 7.1, we have a letter, a request for donation from the French River Lions Club. And we have a donation request for the classic car and hot rod show. And I believe I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Roger and, or Counselor Bob and Counselor Dave. Counselor Roger can't, got a pecuniary interest on this one.
So the request was for a $300 donation. So the resolution is written in that way. So moved and seconded that be resolved that council approves to donate to the Classic Car and Hot Rod Show fundraising event for the French River Food Bank being held on July 20th at Didi's in Albin, hosted by the French River Lions Club for an amount of $300 towards the cost of the shuttle bus.
Does anybody have any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Okay. It's passed. We have the consent agenda. We have a resolution to adopt the items contained in the consent agenda. I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Dave and Counselor Willie. All those in favor? Okay. We have no separate items from the consent agenda. We have no notices of motion. We have announcement and inquiries, and I will start with Mayor Pajot.
Thank you, and that was organized that way. Usually we start at each end, but I asked, I know it was fixed. It was absolutely fixed, so at least I'm honest about it, right? I just want to extend on behalf of council greatest gratitude to people like Jason, and Carly and the Recreation Committee. Mel and Sylvie were absolutely outstanding. I don't have any words to describe how easy it made it look for everybody. And I know it was a lot of hard work. People, I have not heard one negative comment whatsoever by the community. In fact, nothing but praises, and which makes us feel very, very proud. I want to do also a special thank you. Angie was there too to help out on the barbecue, but Bob and Dave, oh my God, I don't know how you guys did that for hours nonstop. I mean, it was fun. And Dave, I enjoyed so much how you catered your dancing to the music that was the fantastic music that was going out in the background. Your moves were quite impressive. And so it just made it so enjoyable. I can't remember how much I had time. And even Roger, at one point we ran out of relish. And Roger told me, well, you can't have a hot dog without relish. And I said, well, I can. But and then he comes back with 6 jars of relish on him. So it was amazing. The opening was great. It was nice to see our MP and MPP present. It was also, I felt very honorable to have Richard Maillard there as to represent the Métis, because our Indigenous folks normally don't celebrate Canada Day and talks about healing. And I thought that was really impressive. But, you know, kudos to the staff. I mean, you know, it was great. And having all of council work, the music, Linda was outstanding. She sang "Oh Canada," couldn't, because the tape didn't work or whatever. And all of a sudden I thought, oh my God, this woman can sing. Holy smokes. It all day was impressive, and then finished with the magnificent fireworks. And I know that, and the way that was placed, I have to comment on that. So as you're coming in and where we were with the barbecue, and then you went over to the I call it the entertainment center. And then it moves smoothly towards the vendors, and the vendors were quite happy. And then we were watching our firefighters get dunked there. I spent $40 on those to get dunked. There was a few of them that I wanted them to go down. And then it came back to us. People were so impressed with the inside of the community center. And then we even had people, remember, they would come between us where we were at the barbecue to have a look at the kitchen, and how impressive everything is. So I couldn't be more happy. I left there very happy and thrilled to have everybody work and have fun while we were doing it. And I know it was a hard job for the people to put together. And so my deepest gratitude. And the only other announcement I have is, don't forget everybody, Thursday, next week, July 11th at 11 a.m. The housing will have the sod turning ceremony. We're partnering with the library, and the two seniors group put an application in to get a grant, and they got it, almost $25,000 or something like that. And one of the activities will be while we're doing the sod turning, they're inviting all the seniors to come, and then they will supply a light lunch after the sod turning ceremony. So kind of nice to see the groups working together. So it's at 11 o'clock, and it will be by the ambulance. So everybody, instead of on the highway where the entrance is, it'll be over here. And then, of course, well, I'll let Roger talk about the car show. And there's also Helping Hands coming up. Yes, and the Meet See Rendezvous is on July 17th this year, also at Joe Shotana Park. So very, very busy summer. Not July, August. I just corrected myself. I'm doing the math in my head. So yeah, August 17th. So hope to see all of you there. And I wish you all a safe and restful summer, though it doesn't sound very restful for all the activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Peugeot. Who wants to go next? Bob?
To you, Madam Chair. And I agree with everything you said. I apologize. I forgot my hat in my truck because I was supposed to put my hat, and to you, Rene, I was supposed to tip it. What a great job of chairing the event on the weekend. Like I say, my hat is off to you. Thank you, you and your committee. I know many worked many hours, Justin, on and on. Jason, you and your staff and Carly, beyond the call of duty. Jason even picked up stuff I forgot there and brought it back here for me. So thank you, Jason. And I need glasses. And Madam Mayor, your speech, you represent us so well. It's easy to be behind you and look pretty. So you're that. And one other person, Councillor Dean, you stood up there and served hot dogs, took tickets. You were up there for 3-4 hours where, and I'll say where the young ones like me and Dave, where we were tired, you were endless. Thank you, Dean, and a special shout out also for Nicole Bizaillon for helping out lots there. Last Thursday, I had the pleasure, I guess, of attending a meeting in North Bay, Lake Nipissing Advisory Council meeting. It was run by MNR biologists, a lot of dry material. The meeting was almost 3 hours long. It ended a few minutes before 9 o'clock in North Bay. But there was some good information and reasoning why they do things a certain way. Next meeting is scheduled in next January. Coming back to Canada Day, what a great idea, and it's out on display out here, the poster for the last 25 years of councils. Super idea and a great job. And and some research. I presume, Mel, your nose was in there somewhere. Groundbreaking on July next Thursday. Helping Hands, I'll leave that for Renee. Car show on the 20th? 20th of July. August 17th, I'm also hosting Camp Quality Golf for Life. Last year I was able to donate $5,200 for Camp Quality. So August 17th, I'm hosting that tournament again. And to council, staff, have a super great summer. Be safe, have fun. And to our public also, have a great summer. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Roger?
Yeah, coming behind Councillor Bob, there's not much left to cover. No, I have to basically double up on everything that was said. The reviews from the people, they came back and said it was the best Canada Day they'd seen as far as the entertainment and the hot dogs, hamburgers, fireworks at night. I've heard like it was excellent. There's nothing much more I think that could have been done. And again, to you, Renee, a big thank you. I'd say on behalf of French River for putting that, well, let's say putting us on the map for Canada Day. It was excellent. There was one question, I think that something went missing. Renee was looking for little cupcakes, and I saw Melanie walking around. She had icing on her nose, so I think I know where they went. And yeah, the last thing would be the car show, July 20th. I do believe from all indication it's going to be a great show. Again, there should be between 50 to 70 cars there. From what I've been told from the car clubs that are assisting, from the Sudbury Classics, the Sudbury Hot Rods, the North Bay Classics, and there's quite a few individual. Matter of fact, the mayor of Marks-St. Warren he's bringing his 1957 Willys Jeep, 9,000 kilometers on it. One of a kind. So that's just one of the persons that or people that have called me directly. So please show up there and hope we have a nice sunny day. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. So we'll go on to Willie.
I don't have much to say. I just gonna wish council and staff very, very well-deserved and long-lived holiday. And hope we all come back refreshed. That's it for me.
Councillor Dean.
Has already been said, there's not much left to say, but I do have a comment. I watched three people work like hell out there at that at Canada Day, and one of them was Bob, who was on that grill steadily for hours. Dave, the same thing, and I had to admire them because it was hot, and they produced that hamburgers and hot dogs and cheeseburgers at an alarming rate, really. I mean, it was just amazing how fast they came out there. And I can tell you, it wasn't easy. I was just standing there collecting tickets, and by the time I got out of there, I couldn't even see. My glasses were so fogged up from the smoke from those barbecues that I could hardly see, really. And but anyway, it was kind of amazing to me. And I also am going to give a big ran back and forth and over the rocks and everything else there. All the time that you guys were doing that cooking and work out there, it was just tremendous. And I watched her, and I was worried a little because she was crossing those broken rocks, all the time. And but it was a great joint effort, I think, on feeding all those people in that 3 or 4 hour period there. It was well done. It was well organized and I have compliments for everybody that was involved. I mean, it was just tremendous. And all in all, I think that I didn't stay for the fireworks, but I'm pretty darn sure that the whole event was a winner. I think that the municipality gets a lot of credit from all the people who attended and watched and so forth and thought that it was worth doing. And I think we can all take credit for that. It was a good thing we did for our municipality and for Canada Day. So that's my comments.
Counselor Dave.
Thank you, through Madam Chair. I had a great time, actually, at the,
We could tell
I had a great time, yeah.
Well,
I'm not gonna repeat everything that's been said, but I feel the same way with every comment that was said. I am gonna try and make the car show in a couple of weeks. Sadly, I'm gonna miss the groundbreaking ceremony for the housing. I am leaving on a trip this week, so. But yeah, thank you to everybody. There's a lot of people involved. I know Renee, your committee, a lot of the organizing was done through the committee. That's well done. Thank you. And everybody worked hard. Thanks to everybody. And I guess we can say happy 4th of July to our seasonal residents from the US tomorrow. Thank you.
That is true. Yeah, Canada Day went very well. So thanks to Carly and Jason and the committee that worked on it. It was great. And all our helpers, Mel and Sylvie and council members and the Lions Club for doing the tickets. I don't think we mentioned we had them. We even, I think, even having Carol with the boîte à lunch there for the French fries. It was a good add-on to the hamburgers and that. So that was nice. I know the vendors enjoyed themselves. The musicians did a great job. Both Linda and Jason, we thank them. And like you said, for Monsieur Maillard also, he did a great presentation. It was nice to see everybody there and everybody enjoying themselves. And thanks to Mother Nature for giving us a nice sunny day, maybe the best day of the weekend. But it was good. And our firemen that went out on 2 fire calls and made it look very like they had never left throughout the whole event.
And 2 the night before.
And yeah, that night again. So yeah, they went out twice during between afternoon and supper time, and they left and came back quietly. And yeah, so to them who worked hard and take their suits back off and back into the dunk tank, and so that we thank them. And this summer, well, I guess there's a car show. There is the Trout Lake will have their picnic on the long weekend of August. We have the Noel Family Ball Tournament coming up also. That's a big thing in Noelville. We have the Helping Hands on the last weekend of August, and the Métis the weekend before that. So we hope everybody has a great summer and enjoys everything. And I think Dave has a little something to say when I'm done.
Yeah.
Yep. So and I know that the public library, French River Library, has a lot of activities lined up for the children this summer. So if you guys know people that have children and want to participate, they can check out the library. There's a lot. And there'll be a lot of seniors programs coming out also because they did receive grants. So that'll be good. So, and then other than that, I guess we'll let Dave speak now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just one person that wasn't mentioned. I'd like to thank Lionel Fox for putting on the fireworks too.
Yeah.
One of my good friends.
Mhm.
Thank you, Lionel.
Yes, thank you, Lionel, for sure. He does a great job every year. And I believe staff, or you guys want to say anything? You guys all good?
Mel, look at her. She's holding.
Mel's holding back. Oh, Jason would like to speak.
The library's annual and their anniversary barbecue.
The library's annual barbecue will be held at Joe Chatelain Park on the 25th with our first responders, our volunteer firefighters, paramedic, and OPP officers that will be attending. And because of the grant, so they're doing it, at first it was just like it was supposed to be for kids. The focus was on for kids. But yesterday we changed it to include seniors. So it's an intergenerational event. So hopefully, again, the weather, God, everybody's hoping for the weather to cooperate all summer because there's so many events, but hopefully that'll be a lot of fun. Thank you, Jason, for reminding me.
Counselor Dave thought of something else.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my calendar and that's the first board meeting for senior housing. 24th?
Yeah.
I have the 25th here, Thursday. Okay, I might have got,
No, the board meeting for, is it the 24th?
I have the 25th here. At 1 AM?
It is the 25th, the board meeting? Oh, at 1:30? Oh, well, the
Oh, no.
barbecue starts at 11, so we can go from 11 to 1. You can do your boogieing on the barbecue.
Okay.
And then we can then head back here because it's not far. Because the meeting for the board is here.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect. Thank
does
you.
that work?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I believe, Mark, go ahead.
Just a reminder to council and to the general public, our next council meeting is scheduled for September 4th. Should the need arise, we will call council back for a special meeting. I highly doubt it, but if something does happen, we can deal with those issues and get council direction that way.
Okay, thank you, Mark. So now we, members of the public, did you want to speak out? Say something? Just press on the button there.
I got to see you guys in action from a distance, but I only sort of thought I'd seen a few of you, but what you guys said about yourselves and what you've done is quite remarkable. And I have to give Jason an extra boost because he found my key, so I didn't have to walk home. I could drive home. And but the other thing that I pointed out, because there was a brief mention of the Trout Lake Campers Association or the Trout Lake Picnic. And I remember doing it with my spouse quite a few years in a row back in the 1990s. But we never heard anything from council or from the municipality. So I'm hoping that there is some way that even if it's just moral support. No, I just found.
Giselle and I have both been out to, in the last few years, we've been out to the Trout Lake picnic. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I go every year. My family has a camp right by Silvery Moon.
Right.
So I try to attend the Mays and I try to go as much as I
so-
can.
So we came from being lost to being found and you guys have been around. So that's great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so for those online, we are going to go on to closed session. So we will be back in a bit. I need a mover and a seconder to go into closed session. Counselor Bob and Counselor Dave.
So on the agenda, we had 2 items to go into closed session. The first item is being canceled. So the first item was to appoint a member of the Public Library Board, as there was numerous applications that council had to discuss. There's only 1 member to be appointed, so council will be able to discuss that in open session. But we do have an added item, which is an update on ongoing economic development initiatives. And the original item for discussing the French River Rapids agreements. So I'm just going to read the motion. So moved and seconded that the meeting be closed as authorized in the Municipal Act pursuant to section 239(2)(I), a trade secret or scientific, technical, commercial, financial, or labor relations information supplied in confidence to the municipality, which if disclosed could reasonably be expected to prejudice significantly the competitive position or interfere significantly with the contractual or other negotiations of a person, group of person, or organization. So that is with respect to an update on ongoing economic development initiatives within the municipality. And pursuant to section 239(2)A, the security of the property of the municipality with respect to an update on the renewal terms of the facilities agreement and refundable loan agreement with the French River Rapids.
Okay, all those in favor? Okay. So we'll be back. Hey, welcome back. We have a resolution to resolve into open session again. I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Dave and Counselor Dean. Okay. So 12.4, we have a resolution emanating from the closed session to appoint one member of the public to the French River Public Library Board to fill a vacancy. So I believe Melanie will read the resolution.
Do you want that, mover and seconder?
I need a mover and a seconder. Counselor Bob and Counselor Willie.
Oops, sorry. Be it resolved that council appoints the following member to the public, the following member of public to the French River Public Library Board, Gloria Thibault, which replaces Rose Heddle.
All those in favor? Okay. I have a resolution to adopt the confirmation bylaw. Counselor Dave and Counselor Dean.
That bylaw 2024-33 being a bylaw to confirm the proceeding of council at a meeting held on July 3rd, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
All those in favor? And I need a resolution to adjourn. Counselor Dean and Counselor Bob.
Very good.
All those in favor?